Welcome to Howard's Opinion, the premier destination for all things sports. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm thrilled to have you tuning in today. We've got an action-packed show lined up for you, filled with analysis, debates, and discussions on the latest developments from the world of sports. Let's dive right into our top story. The Florida Panthers' triumphant win over the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. What a series it was, folks! The Panthers dominated the Oilers, taking the series 4-2, with their star players putting on an absolute show. Sam Reinhart was unstoppable, scoring 4 goals in the final game, including the hat-trick goal that sent the Rats flying onto the ice. And what about Matthew Tkachuk? He's been the face of this franchise for years, and he scored the cup-clinching goal to send the Panthers faithful into absolute frenzy. But it wasn't just these two superstars who made a difference. The entire Panthers team played with grit, determination, and a never-say-die attitude that left the Oilers struggling to keep up. Sergei Bobrovsky was a brick wall in goal, making 28 saves on 29 shots, while Alexander Barkov, Brad Marchand, and Seth Jones all made significant contributions throughout the series. And let's not forget about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, two of the most talented players in the NHL. They tried their best to take over the series, but the Panthers' defense was just too strong. It's clear that this team is on a mission to become a dynasty, with 3 consecutive trips to the finals, and now 2 championships under their belt. We'll be discussing all the implications of this win, including what it means for the Panthers' future and how it affects the balance of power in the NHL. We'll also take a closer look at some of the key players who made a difference in the series and examine what went wrong for the Oilers. So, stay tuned, folks. It's going to be an exciting conversation. And if you're just joining us, don't worry. We've got plenty more where that came from. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're glad you're still with us after that fascinating first segment. Now let's dive into a story that's got everyone in the sports world talking. You might recall the trash talk between Olympic gold medalist Noah Lyles and NFL wide receiver Tyreek Hill over who's the fastest man on the planet. Well, it looks like we won't be getting an answer to that question anytime soon. Apparently, Lyles has called off their highly anticipated speed showdown, citing personal reasons for the cancellation. This comes after months of back and forth between the two athletes, with each trying to one-up the other on social media. Hill even posted a picture with Lyles's face on Homer Simpson's body, retreating into the hedges, along with a cheeky comment about seeing him run the 100 last weekend. Now I know some of you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a race. But let me tell you, this was more than just a competition between two athletes. This was a battle for bragging rights, with the entire sports world watching. And now it seems like Lyles has pulled out at the last minute, leaving Hill and everyone else wondering what could have been. I've got to say, I'm a bit disappointed by this turn of events. I think we all wanted to see these two guys go head-to-head and settle the debate once and for all. But alas, it seems like that's not going to happen. At least, not anytime soon. So, what do you think? Are you sad to see this race get canceled? Or do you think it was all just a publicity stunt from the beginning? Let us know on social media using the hashtag #Howard'sOpinion. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And that's all for this segment. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. Speaking in his signature style as the closing segment of his podcast, Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. As we wrap up today's discussion, I'd like to shift our attention to the world of sports, where the Olympics always bring a level of excitement and anticipation that's hard to match. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Howard, what's the latest from the Olympic front? Well, let me tell you, we've got some interesting developments. First off, NBA legend LeBron James isn't the only big name making headlines in the basketball world. The one and only LeBron James, a fellow basketball icon, Kevin Durant, has just solidified his position as the leader in gold medals among American men's basketball players, with an impressive 4 gold medals under his belt. And let's not forget Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Durant, who are also part of this exclusive club. But that's not all, folks. The 2026 Winter Olympics are just around the corner, and we've got the schedules for both the U.S. men's and women's ice hockey teams. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, ice hockey? That's not exactly my cup of tea. But trust me, these matchups are going to be intense. The United States men's team will be facing off against Denmark, Germany, and Latvia in the group stage, while the women's team will be battling it out against Canada, Czech Republic, Finland, and Switzerland. And speaking of Canada, let's not forget their dominance in the women's ice hockey tournament. They've captured the gold medal in 5 of the last 6 Winter Olympics, with the United States being the only team to break their streak back in 2018. This time around, the U.S. women's team will be looking to pull off an upset, and I've got my eyes on that February 10th matchup between the two teams. Now, as we wrap up today's discussion, I want to leave you with a thought. The Olympics are more than just a sporting event. They're a celebration of human achievement, perseverance, and dedication. Whether it's LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or the U.S. ice hockey teams, these athletes are pushing themselves to be the best they can be, and that's something we can all learn from. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.